Football. I missed you. The NFL is back. The 2020 season is actually happening. Even though a lot of people thought it wasn't going to happen, I was actually very scared it wasn't going to happen because it seemed like the league was like, nope, we're not going to change anything besides having no fans in the stadium. We're not going to do anything to evolve to this COVID shit. Apparently, I don't know shit because it seems like they have virtually no positive cases. Unless they're burying that shit, but we're getting a season. Thank God. But I want to talk about a few things. I'm not going to go into each division. I'm not going to go to each team, each player. I just want to talk about a few things, my little preview for the season. I'm so excited. Let's get started. First of all, I want to talk about is a team that I think will end up being somewhat disappointing this season, and that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now listen, I know a lot of people are high on the Bucs. Tom Brady is obviously the greatest quarterback of all time. There's no debating it now. But we've seen this before. It happened with the Browns last year. It happens all the time. It just seems like when you get all these pieces together, it just never actually works out. And I know this time's a lot different. There's so many different factors that go into this. First thing I want to talk about is Tom Brady. Like I said, the GOAT, greatest of all time. But he's 43. At some point, he's going to suck. And it's not his fault. It's just how time works. He's in a new system now with Bruce Arians. He's going to be out of that Belichick system for the first time. I don't know how well that's going to work. And yes, he probably has his best weapons he's ever had. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are arguably the best duo in the league. He's got Gronk back. I'll talk about Gronk right now. Love him to death. God bless his soul. But he was retired for a year. It's probably hard to come back in the league just like that. And he lost a lot of weight. And I don't know. He's had a lot of injuries. I don't know how well that's going to work out as well as everyone thinks. They just signed Leonard Fournette. I get that. So they have a pretty good backfield with him and Ronald Jones. So it's interesting to see. I just don't think it's going to work out as well as everyone thinks. I'm seeing people online being like, oh my God, the Super Bowl's in Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay could play in Tampa Bay for the Super Bowl. It's like, let's give it a break, guys. I think they're probably the third best team in that division. Maybe second. They're definitely not first. It's probably the Saints. So I think that's going to be disappointing just because of the expectations. I'm not saying they're going to go like fucking 4-12. They have too much talent to do that. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. This happened last year with the Browns. So I know what it looks like. So we'll see. I think a team that can be surprising this year, and people are like, that's not fucking surprising, is probably the Cowboys. I mean, this is the first year we're going to see the system without Jason Garrett. It's Mike McCarthy, who won a Super Bowl, and I get that he kind of wasted Rodgers' prime. I kind of agree with that because he probably should have more than just one. He has a lot of good players on the Cowboys roster. That roster is actually very, very good. It just hasn't been working. And we'll see how well Dak Prescott plays. But I think they're going to be pretty good this year. And it's going to surprise a lot of people. And I get it that people will be like, that's not surprising, Dave. Like, we all thought that. Every year, you fucking Cowboy fans think you're going to be in the Super Bowl or somehow better than that. But it never happens. And as I get the Browns do this every year, but we just end up just sucking dick. You guys always go like 8-8 or something. This is probably the first year you guys are going to possibly make the Super Bowl. And I get it. You guys almost made the NFC Championship game, I think, like 2 years ago. I get it. Like, they have had their shots. They've had good records in the past. But I think this is the year that you guys actually get it together, as painfully as I hate saying that because I fucking hate the Cowboys. It's going to be hard with the Eagles because you guys are in the same division. I think the Eagles are a good team as well. So we'll see what happens there. Talk about the AFC now. Let's get this out of the way. I think Patrick Mahomes probably just win MVP. I don't think there's really anyone else that's going to challenge him. I know people are going to say Lamar Jackson. I actually think Lamar Jackson might have a down year this year. Not saying he's going to suck. I just don't think he's going to be as spectacular as he was last year or as people think he's going to be. I think the Ravens might overall have a downish year. Not fucking saying they're going to suck. But they just might not be as good as they were last year. It happens. And it doesn't make sense. But it happens sometimes. Now, you guys, I know you've been waiting for me to talk about them. Let's talk about the Browns. Let's talk about the fucking Cleveland Browns. This is our year, baby. This is our fucking year. The more I think about it, the more I love this team, the more I love our coach, the more I love everything. And I know what you're going to fucking say. This happened last year, and a year before that, and many other years of my life. but it's different, I swear. It's fucking different this year. I feel like a lot of people are counting us out already, and that's exactly what I want. Baker is obviously a big question mark, but I think he wasn't fucking around this offseason, and Freddie Kitchens did not help him at all last year. I get it. It's also partly Baker's fault, but Freddie called plays like it's me when I'm trying to shit on someone in Madden. You just can't do that in the NFL. So I think Stefanski, I know he runs the ball more, but I think that's going to work out. We need an identity as a team. I think we should be a run first. We just extended Kareem Hunt. We have Nick Chubb. They're fucking amazing. We have the best backfield in the NFL. Use that. We have a good offensive line now. Use it. And then when we have to pass, we have Odell and Jarvis and Rashard Higgins. Oh, and I forgot about our tight ends. We have fucking Austin Hooper, Harrison Bryant. They're fucking good. David Njoku is a big question mark. I mean, he's got brick for hands. But we'll see with him. But I just feel like offensively, things are going to click. Stefanski is running this analytics system that I don't know will work. We'll see. But it sounds like we are finally getting some sort of identity, which is what the biggest issue was of last year. And our defense is pretty good. We just have some issues with our secondary. Delpit getting hurt didn't help at all. But our defensive line is great. Our linebackers are okay, but they'll get it together. Come on now. And our secondary, there's big question marks, but I think we made some great moves in the offseason, and it's going to work out. We're going to win our division. The Steelers are going to suck dick. They're having a down year. They're going to suck. The Bengals just suck right now. I know they're rebuilding. They're going to suck. And then the Ravens, we're going to beat them. We're going to beat them in our division. They're going to get in the wild card game. They're going to lose in the wild card game. We're going to have the division title. We're going to make the playoffs. We're going to play the Chiefs in the AFC title game. The NFC title game is going to be the Cowboys and the Saints. And I think that the Cowboys will beat the Saints in the NFC title game. And then the Browns will beat the Chiefs in the AFC title game. And then the Browns will defeat the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. And we will be crowned Super Bowl champions. This is our year. This is our fucking year. This is the Browns' fucking year. Our roster is too good for us not to be good. It's going to work out. Stefanski's going to work out. Baker's going to work out. It's going to fucking work out. And there's so much more that's going to happen this NFL season. I just want to make sure this video is way too long. It's back. Football's fucking back. Let's celebrate. It's going to be so much fucking fun. We have more to watch now. Nothing against the NBA. It's been great. But it's football. My favorite sport. I don't think I'm going to do a college football preview because it's so strange. I'm still confused. It's so, the thing I'm confused about is just the timing of things. Like, they had games this weekend, and the Clemson and the ACC and all of them are going to play this coming up weekend, and then the SEC doesn't play for, another 2 weeks. What? I'm just confused. And then I saw they're doing, their predictions for the Final Four, and people putting, Cincinnati in there. It's going to be so weird because there's no Big Ten or whatever. Whatever. I'm just not going to do a video for that. Fuck, I'll probably make a college football video. I just don't know when I'll do that. Maybe I'll do it in the middle of the season. Whatever. So the NFL is back. I want to hear some of your guys' predictions, so let me know what they are. Thank you so much for watching. Click here to see more of Davey Dave's Takes.